back to Jeff Koinange live here at Citizen Television, here with the chair. That's what they call this man. He's the chairman of the powerful Budget and Appropriations Committee. Also happens to be Kieni Member of Parliament Kanini Kega and Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata. You remember, he was former Majority Whip. The chair. Is that what they call you? Not just chairman. But you know what you said earlier on? It really shocked me, and I have to double-check this with my statistics and everything, that more roads have been built between 2018 and 2021 than 2013 to 2018?
I can give you even my own statistics from my own constituency. Kieni, we have done more roads from 2018 up to now than we did from 2013 to 2017. Fact. And he can also tell you about the many roads in Mau Mau and all that. I'll give you the statistics. But going back to corruption, I want to say categorically that through the admission of the president himself, when he presented that dossier to Parliament, you know, saying that so-and-so, this minister, the other minister, was implicated in malpractice, and they were told to step aside, and finally they were sacked. That was a clear manifestation that there was corruption, and the president was acting. In fact, right now, there are so many ministers who are still in court having corruption or being faced by corruption charges, including the CS National Treasury. So for Kang'ata to laugh off and say that there was no corruption, I mean, that's hypocritical.
Yeah.
And it was done during the regime of 2013 to 2017. That's a fact. So many bad things happened between 2013 and 2017. And many good things have actually happened, including peace and tranquility in the country, despite the challenge of COVID between 2018 and up to now. And still counting. By 2022, well, I can tell you for sure, you know, this road that we are constructing between JKIA and Westlands,
the Mombasa Expressway,
the express highway will be complete. The Mau Mau Road, the dual carriage. There are so many other projects that will be complete by the year 2022. So basically, we would have done much more between 2018 and 2022 than we did the previous year.
That's very convenient because it's an election year. Well, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Jeff, allow me to agree with my colleague here.
You agree with it?
Yes, for once. That anything that the president says, we must agree with it. He is our president. He is the symbol of the national unity. He is an authority on matters government. He told us every day we are losing 2 billion. And he told us after the handshake. So for me, of course, he said that. So we must agree with the president. He's an authority in that area. 2 billion shillings every day after the handshake. Imagine. No, he told us that. It is on record. So imagine who steals that money. Maybe the people fronting handshake should give us a little bit of an explanation. It is a fact.
Senator, okay. All right. Hold on. Usually when the president gives an endorsement, right, there's that project factor. Remember, in 2002, when Moi said, this is my project, and this project was Uhuru Kenyatta, and he lost miserably.
Of course.
To Mwai Kibaki then. If the president endorses somebody this time, is there a fear that
I don't think the president is going to endorse anyone.
You don't think so?
And I don't think he has a reason to endorse anyone. And if there is any person waiting for endorsement, then they will be in for a rude shock. The president will say as a voter, yeah, because he has a vote. I look at the situation, for example, what the former Prime Minister Raila did. He came to Nanyuki. He called me. He was supposed to fly back to Nairobi. On Monday, he called me. He was just checking where I am because I have hosted him before in my home. And he said that he had decided to drive through, you know, Central. And I accompanied him between Narumoro. We went to Chaka. We went to Karatina. We went to Sagana. Many people. We went to Makutano. We went to Keno. You know, many people. We went to Etaithie, we went to Juja, and finally, the mighty Githurai. Why would anybody want to be endorsed? He was alone, myself and some other governors. Honestly, if it's an endorsement from Kanini, so be it. But it's not an endorsement of the president. I don't think, for example, Raila Odinga is waiting for an endorsement of the president. No, he is actually going to look for votes, because naturally, when you have that endorsement tag, the one that they are looking for, the one they are talking about that 6 years ago, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta said that yangu kumi na huyu mwingine kumi, that kind of endorsement, the one that they are looking for, cannot take them anywhere, because the vote belongs to that mwananchi down there. I even told you, when the Mount Kenya will make their final decision, it will not be an individual, decision. It will be us, all of us, coming together and saying that our interest will be better, taken care of by this individual. So if there is a person waiting for any endorsement, they will be in for a rude show.
Senator, do you agree?
Yes, I agree to the extent that these guys had a very successful tour in Mount Kenya. That is very good. No, I'm very happy, by the way. It shows the maturity of politics the people of Mount Kenya exercise. We don't do violence. We are very democratic. We gave Raila Odinga a chance to come to our region without throwing a stone. I pray the people of Migori, please learn from Mount Kenya. Please don't fight Jimmy Wanjigi. When Jimmy Wanjigi comes there and talks about Fagilia water, don't throw a stone. Learn from the people of the mountain. It's only by sheer coincidence. The only time I saw people throwing stones against a presidential candidate were people in Kieni constituency. I pray my colleague, maybe, I'm sure I was not behind that incident in Kieni, because that's the only place I saw people throwing stones. I saw Baba, I saw Musalia coming to our region. We are civilized people. I am convinced the people of Kieni cannot throw stones against the deputy president or any other presidential candidate, because they are civil, they are peaceful people. I strongly believe the people of Nyeri, they are democratic. They will give a chance to each and every presidential candidate to go to the mountain and argue his case without a single stone being thrown there.
7 million votes at stake. 7 million.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I foresee with the new voters registration, enhanced voter registration exercise that kicked off on Monday, that vote may even reach about 9 or even 10 million.
And of that 9 or 10, how much must Ruto win? How much does must he split that vote?
For me, I don't foresee a split. I strongly believe that the people of Central will vote as a bloc. Anyone who will not be in UDA will definitely not get a seat. If you are not in UDA, no one will support you. And for a good cause. You know, we have been growing as a community, realizing the importance of voting as a bloc. Yeah? And that will not... remember, in 2002, we split up. Yeah, in the year 1992 we split up, but after 2007 we became one unit. That explains why the Deputy President is strong, whether in Kiambu, in Murang'a, in Nakuru, people are speaking the same language. That is why you are seeing defections. They are not joining that party where people throw stones. They are not joining Jubilee. They are coming out of Jubilee, coming to UDA. That is the direction of defection. Because elected leaders are listening to what the people on the ground are saying. I like your statement. You have saying, kwa ground vitu ni different. Indeed, vitu ni different. Because the leaders who are talking about Raila Odinga, they are disconnected with the people. That is why you find the ODM Jubilee, because now my colleague have joined ODM. They can only, of course, no. You know, when you talk of Baba,
I will speak for myself.
No, it has been announced officially. ODM and Jubilee are having a unity pact. It is in public realm. So Jubilee and ODM are one and the same thing. So they can only attract 10 members of parliament from Mount Kenya. Yeah. But
10 to 12.
Of course.
That's it.
Of course.
Chairman, you're laughing.
I'm laughing because, you know, my good friend, he has extremely selective amnesia. You know, he just remembers what he wants to remember and forgets everything about the reality. The other day, my good senator was in Karen, together with my good friend Mureu, who is vying in Gatanga. And none other than the deputy president endorsed and said that this guy Mureu, yeah, will be the automatic candidate of UDA in Gatanga. He also went ahead and said in Murang'a, the guy who will be the flag bearer of UDA is none other than Kang'ata. That is the reason I said you cannot mention UDA and democracy in one sentence. They can't be in the same sentence because they don't believe in that. You will see massive hemorrhage, you know, of people moving away from that so-called UDA after they realize that they have been hoodwinked. You see like 10 members of parliament, you know, trying to, add aspirants in one particular constituency, and they are being promised that there will be fair nomination, as if there will be 10 positions of parliament. The moment they realize that for sure that specific seats have been reserved for specific individuals, they will go away. Kang'ata, you saying that at Central Kenya, if you are not in UDA, you will not be re-elected, that's a dream.
Okay,
let me explain my case, because UDA is not a Central Kenya party. If you remember, in 2012, the deputy president came with his party, URP, with about 1.9 million votes. Uhuru Kenyatta came with his party, TNA, yeah, with about 5 going to 6 million votes. And they split the government right down the middle, 50-50. 50-50. And he was given 50-50 basically because he came with his party of URP and Uhuru came with his party. If we were not in our party, if he was not in his party, if he was in Uhuru's party, yeah, he would not have gotten the 50%. Fact. So any person trying to tell us that we will go to any negotiations with anybody, and that is the reason I'm saying when he is saying that I'm joining you ODM, that's not true. We are in negotiations that whoever is coming to our region must come and respect the parties that we have.
Yeah, but you seem
in our
to, yeah,
party.
no. Hold on. You seem to have selective amnesia as well, because you forget Kiamba, you forget.
Can I comment? Can I comment? Please, Kanini, be proud of your presidential candidate Raila Odinga. Yeah, be proud. Join ODM. Start singing Tibin. Surely listen. Listen.
He's giving you some advice.
Listen.
When anybody requests for information,
yes,
I either accept or decline. I decline your advice.
He is not proud. He is not
but
proud.
I'm saying, moving forward, we are revamping our party, Jubilee. For a fact, we are revamping. A lot of activities are now ongoing in our grassroots, positions.
Name one activity. Name one.
No, don't worry. We don't have to say everything here. We are revamping our party. That's a fact. In fact, in the next 2 weeks, you will see actions, even at the national level. So we at some point, we were saying that we start from the top going down. But we said, let's not start with the national officials. Let's first of all rework our branch officials, because there are some branch officials who have gone to UDA and we would not really want to mix all those issues. So we are working on our party, and I can tell you for a fact that Jubilee, in whichever form, we will be in the ballot, and it will be the party for the mountain. We are also supporting the issue that were brought by Honorable Kiunjuri, Honorable Matha, Honorable Moses Kuria, who have said that for sure we need a vehicle. We are not going on rented vehicles since we have our own. And what the deputy president wants is to make sure that everybody is in UDA, yeah? And the question of negotiating, they will be in a very awkward position, because the moment you get in somebody's vehicle, if you are given a lift by anybody, Jeff, and you have your car, that person will take you to wherever he or she wants, because you are at the mercy of that person. So if you have your vehicle, you will be able to make your own independent decisions. We are going as a mountain. We will allow parties to thrive. We changed Article 210, basically to make Kenya not from a de jure party to a multi-party. We cannot go back there. We were in 1992. So that one of UDA, we are not going there.
Go on, Senator.
Jeff.
Before you say hi again.
Yes. myself as Irungu Kang'ata, I'm so proud of my presidential candidate. That is William Ruto. In fact, I'm so happy that he mentioned my name publicly in positive light. That's good. I'm praying. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for that. You see, be proud of your presidential candidate.
I am.
You see, he is not.
I am.
You see, he is not. Look here. Look, listen. Me, I'm saying I'm pro-UDA. And that is the party of my presidential candidate, William Ruto. He doesn't want to join ODM. You see, he doesn't want to join ODM.
By the way,
no, allow me to advance my argument. He doesn't want to talk about Tibim, Tialala,
but that is not my party, my friend.
No, of course.
My party is
Those are
Jubilee.
slogans of ODM. He doesn't. He's not proud of his party, like myself. Me, I'm ready to sing every day, Hustler Nation, bottom up. Those are our issues that we are canvassing to the Kenyan public. The economics, the poor conditions that most of our hospitals are.
But you're still in Jubilee, right?
Yes, I am, but I'm telling Jubilee, when time comes, I'll definitely not vie with your ticket. Of course, it's my right. I'm a Kenyan. And I'm so proud of taking that position. But for them, they say, no, I don't know what. Do you know Raila Odinga come to Central? Only one member of parliament appears to support.
No, that's, let's be factual.
Fine.
Because that's a lie.
Fine. Okay,
that's a lie.
fine.
You know,
okay.
He has said it twice.
You are right.
He has said it.
No.
The record straight.
No.
Yeah, because
You have to be okay, fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, people of Kieni. My colleague, he'll be coming with ODM. Look at him.
Jeff, we were proceeding very well.
We were doing quite well.
Until you let him to go long. I'm not talking about him with his parties.
Look at him.
Okay, Chairman.
Finally, we'll have to get him some lege.
Chairman,
and get him some lege. You know, once he gets some lege, he'll be able to cool down.
Chairman, you were in Naivasha 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
When a group from Mount Kenya endorsed Martha Karua as their spokesperson.
No, I wasn't.
You were there for like 3 minutes.
I wasn't. Yeah. For a matter of fact, I was actually out of the country. I wasn't there. The meeting that I was in was the one that we had in Serena here in Nairobi, where myself, Honorable Sabina, Honorable Martha Kiunjuri, Moses was not there. Mm-hmm. So all the things they talked about in Naivasha were not binding to us because they went on a different trajectory. So basically, all the discussions that they held there, we are not party to it as Jubilee, because at some point we realized that we are not on the same wavelength, and there are some people who are trying to advance their personal interests, and we say that is not the route that we are going.
So you don't endorse that?
Absolutely no. But in terms of them standing and saying that we want to have our parties going to the ballot, that one we are 100% together. The second one, on the two issues of our fair representation, because they have also been pushing for that. One vote, one shilling. We are together. In terms of the revenue, you know, there is a formula that was in the Senate, which he was pushing himself when he was the whip that time on the formula. We still have the list. We still have how they voted. Those who voted against that formula, for sure, were not being fair to us, because that formula is the one that was bringing a bit of fairness. Jeff, if you look at some of the allocations that go to counties, and you do what you call per capita, you know, you will see that, for example, a county like Kiambu, the money, the entire equitable share that goes to Kiambu, if you do the per capita, is about 3,500. But there are some counties here in Kenya whereby the per capita is 23,000 shillings.
Per person.
It's not fair.
Per person.
It's not fair. And those are some of the things that we had actually captured in the BBI, saying that at least it should not be 3 times more than the lowest. So if you are getting 3,000, the highest should get 9,000. If you are not supporting us on that one, kindly don't bother yourselves to come and look for our votes, because we are not going to give you. If you are not supporting us, when we were saying that we want to have our fair share of members of parliament, do you know, Jeff, our voting machine and block ends at the presidential level. Once we do the presidential vote, it is not reflected in all the other elective positions, either in the Senate and the National Assembly. I can actually tell you, because that's a fact. And that most of the decisions, most of the laws are passed on the floor of the House. And sometimes you don't have even the numbers to push the laws. We don't have even the numbers to push some of the issues that we feel that we have been marginalized for all that time. So, Jeff, if you did not support us on the BBI issue, which was capturing most of our issues, kindly don't bother so much. If you did not support us on that formula, or what we call the basis that was in the Senate, because we have the data, kindly don't come to bother us, because you will be giving us lip service. Basically, what they have been doing with the party leader, they have been giving us lip service, that I will be able to assist you. When I get to power, you have not shown, you have not matched your deeds with what you have been saying.
Yeah, you see, Jeff, when it's come to the matter of revenue allocation, yes, I think I'm an authority on that issue, by the virtue that I was the chief whip when we were passing and discussing that motion. And it is true, it took us a very prolonged period for us to push that agenda in the Senate. And Jeff, it is true, the first generation formula was oppressive to the people of Mount Kenya and other highly populous counties. Reason being, it had several parameters, but the most important parameter of population, it has been given very little weight. And therefore, to that extent, we wanted to change that formula so that we give population its due weight. Jeff, by virtue of being a whip, I can give you a fact and you can check in the Hansard. People like Senator Kenywa, who is a Tanga stalwart, was supporting me when I was pushing that agenda. Senator Keheka, who also happens to be a great supporter of a deputy president, was supporting that motion. Gerard K, that is the Senator for Nandi, he was also supporting my cause. And therefore, anyone saying that supporters of deputy president were not supporting that motion, it is not true. It is there on Hansard. And let me say that we push that agenda. Murang'a was supposed to lose 150 million if that motion did not pass. But we came up with what we call a win-win situation where all counties gained and Murang'a got an extra 900 million per annum out of that new motion. And we are happy that every senator at the end of the entire process supported that concept. And therefore, for me, I strongly believe 1 man, 1 shilling is now embedded legally. It is there. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. It is true there was an attempt by BBI to amend Article 203 of the Constitution, and therefore, but for me, I don't see any correlation between that proposed amendment to Article 203 in the BBI and what I was pushing in the Senate. Reason being, what I was pushing in the Senate was a formula. But what they were proposing to amend in Article 203, they were not proposing to put that formula in the Constitution.
So what you're saying?
Therefore, what he's saying is not true. Let me come to the issue of constituencies. It is true, he's correct, that indeed Mount Kenya region is underrepresented in the National Assembly or even in the Senate. And it is true, we deserve justice as the people of Mount Kenya. But for me, I am not so sure justice is where you propose in the BBI to give Kilifi, I don't know, Kilifi and a place called Kwale, a 5 constituency, another one, 3 constituencies, is there in the BBI schedule. And in Kieni, where he comes from, in Nyeri, not a single constituency was being proposed, even a single constituency. When you look at Murang'a County, with a huge population of about 1 million, they're only proposing to give it 1 extra constituency.
On top of what?
Whereas Machakos, which has a similar population of Murang'a, was being given 3 extra constituency. For me, I can tell you, BBI was a fraud. It was an intention to oppress the people of Mount Kenya. How? 1, they increased the number of nominated members of parliament, which will be an extra cost to the people of Mount Kenya. We are the one who pay major taxes to this republic. We will be compelled to pay more VAT, more excise duty, huge sums of money when we are trying to accommodate an expanded legislature. Secondly, those of us who come from that region, we are so passionate about farming. We are so passionate about tea, about coffee, about rice, about potato. When you look at BBI, there was no mention about what we call minimum guaranteed return. And that has been a major clarion call for the people of Mount Kenya. When you look at BBI, it did not talk about the huge number of unemployed people in Mount Kenya. It was only talking about creating position for the big boys. You create the position of a prime minister, a deputy prime minister, yeah? You create position for the big boys. But when you look at the common Mwananchi, there is nothing that was being provided for for the Mwananchi. Fine. Thank you. Continue pushing BBI agenda. Continue talking about changing the constitution. You give the president more powers to override the judiciary by creating what you call the office of the ombudsman. Yeah? Continue talking about an imperial president who is going, where you're going to fuse the executive and legislature. Of course, that was the proposal.
All right, Chairman.
That's
what they wanted to do.
I can't imagine that is what
we are talking about
the
economics.
I can't imagine.
For me, it is true.
Let him
it is
speak.
true.
Okay.
The final point, 2 points. The so-called sweeteners in BBI, there were two major sweeteners in BBI. Number one, World Development Fund. It was my idea. I pushed it in the Senate. When it went to the National Assembly, they torpedoed it. If you want to bring World Development Fund, please tell Kemunya to slot it in the order paper, and you mobilize members of the National Assembly, you pass it. You don't need BBI. The second good sweetener was adding more resources to the counties. Please, again, you don't need to amend the Constitution. Bring an amendment to the Division of Revenue Act in the National Assembly. And by the way, he is the chair of budget. He needs to initiate that proposal. Bring it tomorrow, we pass it.
Jeff,
okay.
I can't imagine that Kangata is saying that BBI was a fraud or a fraud. And knowing very, very clearly that for the first time, there was no gerrymandering in terms of constituencies. It is what you call the 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. To try as much as possible to balance the number of people per constituency from the lowest to the highest. It was the first time ever. This was the first attempt to try and make our constituencies as equal as possible. Because at the moment, we have a constituency, for example, mine is not the biggest, but you have Roiro, which has over 500,000 inhabitants. Whereas we have some counties, or some constituencies, with about 30,000 people. And they have the same vote on the floor of the House. When you are voting on major issues, including the budget of 3.3 trillion, they have the same vote. When we are trying to correct that, then you say it's a fraud. In Nyeri, we have 3 protected constituencies. That is Teto, Othaya, and Mukurweini. That have not met the basic threshold to be a constituency. And the same constitution says that after 10 years, if those constituencies will not have met the minimum threshold, they will be scrapped. So we are staring at a reality of us losing 3 constituencies. In his constituency, including Keharu and all that, they were getting an extra constituency on top of the already constituencies that they have 7. The population of Murang'a is about 900,000.
No.
It's about maybe 1 million or so. Because it's not even 1 million. It's not a million. It's not a million. Because in Nyeri, we have 700. It's a question of, it was for the first time, and I want to be candid, Jeff, it was about the population. And for me, I was comfortable. When Nyeri, with a population of 759,000 inhabitants, you divide by the average number of constituents, which is about 133, it gives you 5.7 constituencies. So it means, round it to the nearest figure, 6. It is 6. At the moment, we have 6. So basically, it's not that we are losing. On the map, we are supposed to have 6 constituencies, despite the fact that mine is big. But in essence, it means that we should rationalize the constituencies to be equal so that we have 6 constituencies. In his constituencies, they have 7. They were getting an extra 1, basically based on their population. It was purely on population. And Kangata is very wrong to mislead. In Kwale and Kilifi, it was also the question of population. And we will make sure that we give you the statistics. It was also the question of population. That is the reason they were getting an extra 2, basically because they have 4. So they were getting about 7. So they were still lower than Murang'a. The same case with Kilifi. And they have a right. So, when you say that you're not a tribalist, but when the issue of Kilifi and Kwale, they are getting more, they are right to share, in that one, you say, no, Murang'a should have gotten more. But when you are now debating as a nationalist, you are saying that you are nationalist, but you're not a tribalist. Don't double speak. So, Jeff, we lost an opportunity to correct some of the ills that we have had since independence. Because naturally, since we had the presidency, we had this issue of giving the attitude to the left. Giving in is a question of us giving in, actually. And this time around, we are saying, honestly, even if maybe you don't have the presidency, let's have our fair share, so that even if we don't have the presidency, we'll always get what is right for ours. So for them to deny Mount Kenya and his leader, to deny Mount Kenya what is right for ours, we'll remember at that opportune time. We will, it's like when in our village, when if you have cows, the dairy cows, every day when you take your milk to the local guy who corrects the milk, they always feel that today you have taken 9 liters, 5 liters, and then they do the accumulation. They know they tally at the end of the month. They'll tell you, oh, you are supposed to get this. That is exactly what we are doing. We are tallying all these bad things they are doing to us. All the manner of things that they are telling the president, the insults and all that, we are tallying.
And what are you going to do?
We will, at the decision time, we'll give the report card and say, if there's a report card, is this a report card that you want to give this person the position of the president of the country?
Yes. No, by the way, I agree with him. We shall take a report card to the people and we shall tell them, you remove Kangata, you removed, Dede was arrested, Rigathi was arrested. Why? No, it's you. You're telling me about a report card. We will tell the people.
Jeff,
all have report cards.
No, Jeff, they say, show me your friends, and I know your character. Look at the people surrounding the deputy president. Can I mention, apart from Kangata, who is a bit clean from the outside, I don't know from the inside. Apart from Kangata, look at all the other guys. They are all in court in one case or the other. Honestly, show me your friends and I know your character.
Jeff, we shall tell the people, COVID billionaires, they are free. They are free. COVID billionaires, they are free. Yeah. We shall tell the people, look, they arrested my friend Dede for nothing. For nothing, my young brother, he was arrested. He was released without charge, just for saying Ruto Tosha. Imagine. They went after deputy president. They removed the police. Yeah, remember that? What? Remember the way they
talking about
of course.
The police.
Of course. No.
We were told by Matiang'i the other day.
Listen.
My goodness.
No, let me tell you.
You will both have report cards. So we get to the magic wall. What do you think? Yeah. Let's see what the people are saying. What do they think of this conversation? Because everyone seems to have a report card. Lots of tweets. Washira Wakasisi says, Kanini Kega is my member of parliament, but I believe he is lost by saying that the mountain supports the handshake, which is absolutely wrong. The only solution to this problem is coming together to decide on one person. What do you say, Mheshimiwa?
Oh, that's not very right, because the handshake has brought a lot of peace and tranquility in the country, and that is the reason we have witnessed a lot of development in that constituency. In fact, I don't think there is any constituency in the country that has received more development as a fact. It's Kieni.
For me, I think what the Kenyans are saying is the truth. That indeed, of course, he's a Kenyan. He's the one who has tweeted.
Kenya, not Kenyans.
Yeah. So for me, I strongly believe he is talking on behalf of the people.
Okay. Tulinde Kenya says, ask Kangata to tell us what he thinks is wrong with the handshake.
Oh, the handshake is a very good thing. We are it not for the problems that we are now currently facing, focusing on changing the constitution to make an imperial president instead of looking at the issues concerning Mwananchi, unemployment, the coffee farmer, the tea farmer. Yeah, I wish we were talking about issues of NHIF, taxing our mind on how we are going to create more employment opportunity for the jobless young people.
Jackson Owino, in negotiating for Yangu 10, Nayako 10, Yakumi, Yangu Kumi, where do all the rest of the nation fall in terms of everything with the king kind of government that we run in this nation? That was not the way forward for a democratic country. We are the electorates.
I said, if they say 10, basically those who are individuals who had their own agreements, the Kenyan people will make that decision, at the option time, based on the performance of individuals and the report card I talked about.
But Senator, you disagree.
It's not about
I agree
you're
with
waiting
him.
for your 10.
No, I agree with him. Deputy President said a very good point. He said that he does not believe in politics of debt. No one owes him any debt.
What you say?
No, what I meant, let me tell you what I meant. The president echoed the feeling of the people. He echoed the feeling of the people. To me, that's what I meant. Of course, don't put words into my mouth. What the president did, he only echoed the sentiment in the Mount Kenya.
Okay, Umbati Francis says politics has no permanent enemies. We know that. The Mount Kenya people will vote in the one whose manifesto is appropriate.
Yes.
Absolutely. Spot on. That is what we'll go for come 2022. And you remember this debate?
On this day.
Absolutely.
I agree. It's about the people. It's not about Tibim. It's not about Telala. It's not about Kitendawili. Of course.
It's not even about Kumi.
Canario Beth says, so when we talk about paying political debts that were made without our approval, what makes us think that when these candidates assume power, they will serve the people? Because technically it means the presidency is their right.
I agree.
You seem to be agreeing a lot today.
Yes, of course. Because we don't believe in politics of debt. We believe it about the people. It's not about the leaders. And that's why we strongly felt that BBI was about creating position for the big honchos. Yeah? I wish we concentrate as a country on the problems bedeviling the common Mwananchi. Jeff, young people are suffering. They have no jobs. Jeff, this country, the counties, it's about stealing. We need leaders with integrity. I wish that should be the focus. I wish prosecutions currently, they are not being skewed or weaponized for politics. If you could concentrate on ensuring that we fix our infrastructure, we create more employment for our people, we ensure our health systems are working, that is how Kenya is going to progress.
I don't believe in political
weaponize
on political debts. I only believe in debt of gratitude. When for example, as the Kikuyu people, for example, and I'm saying as a Kikuyu, from independence, we have had 3 presidents. We owe debt of gratitude to many of the Kenyan population, basically because they have supported one of us. And I think it's a high time that we also reciprocated. And as a chairman of budget, when we are dealing with debts, we deal with the aged debt. The old debt. You start with the old debt. You start with the old stock going to the new debt.
Very well put. So who's the old debt?
For me...
Chairman, no, wait. Sir Bogua says, whether we support Ruto or Raila, Mount Kenya people have a right to make their decision on which side to follow. Mount Kenya votes have a lot of influence in government formation in this country. Obviously, we know. Yeah, true. True.
Yes.
And you say it might be up to 9 million after this new registration.
Absolutely. We are heading to 10 million. We might get to 10 million.
Wow. Yeah. Honorable Lukinda Ojuka says, ask the Moranga Senator, Honorable Kangata, that they will accept peacefully the defeat come 2022, if any case, if they lose. And can they make it in 2022 with no President Kenyatta blessings? Remember we were talking about endorsement before?
Yes, I can tell you.
For endorsement.
I want...
The first part is we'll accept defeat if...
Yes, I want to make an announcement here that as UDA, we shall accept once we are defeated in a democratic and a peaceful manner. Please, I ask my friend Raila Odinga and his candidate here, his Kieni candidate, Kanini Kega, please, can you make a similar pledge? Please don't take us to the way you did to Kenya 2007, the problems you brought to Kenya in 2013, in 2017, where young people died in the streets fighting for your cause just on the basis you refused to accept defeat. Please, can you give us an assurance as we are giving a public pledge that we shall not at all cause chaos?
Jeff, the problem that we have had...
Hold on, before you answer, there was a second part to that question. Without the president's support or blessings?
As we are praying for the president, we love our president. We wish him safe retirement. I have no doubt that, by the way, I'm told, he has publicly told our colleagues in Kieleweke, for him, he is not into this politics of trying to endorse anyone. So for us, we pray for him. We shall support his endeavors as our competition is the problems that are bedeviling Kenya.
Okay, Chairman.
Jeff, the biggest problem that we have had in our electoral process is mistrust. Mistrust. I had a session with the IEBC commissioners, and they say that the amount of money that we are spending so that we can import ballot papers which have more features than our 1,000 note, Kenya shilling note, is because of mistrust. We cannot even make our ballot papers here. Our elections are very, very expensive. Do you know they're asking for 41 billion shillings?
Correct. And then you approved 26 billion.
We did approve 26, but what you have told them, that they are going to come before my committee. We are now working on what we call zero-based budget. They have to justify all the costs. You know, basically because we don't have money to waste also. But we are going to make sure that we facilitate them properly. I want to give this assurance as a chairman of budget. We will make sure that we will facilitate them so that we don't have any blame game. You know, like, you know, in the last election, there was a delay in procurement of ballot papers, and of course there was government to government and all that. We are going to avoid that, and we have given them enough money. We have supplementary budget where we will give more resources, but they have to justify what they are buying. But I want to say, if we are able to have free, fair and credible elections, I don't think there is any person who would go to court or who would basically say that I am not accepting this result. I believe that in 2022, we will have free, fair and credible election in a way that it will be like in 2002, where Uhuru Kenyatta, the KANU candidate, was defeated by His Excellency Mwai Kibaki and called a press conference at Serena to accept defeat. Because basically we believe that that election was free and fair.
Yeah, but
the rest of the elections...
What happened to 07,
07, there are issues.
17.
Let's be honest. 07, there are issues. 2012, Kangata, I don't want to say, but there were issues. I mean, people were complaining here and there. They went to court.
Yeah, they did.
2017, they also went to court. And one party boycotted because some of the issues that they had raised in their complaint, they were not addressed. So they said, how can we go for a repeat election when some of these things have not been addressed?
So what makes you think
things
5
are
years
being addressed.
later? 5 years later, what makes you
think?
We
are working on them to make sure that we properly facilitate IEBC. And I'm telling you, confirming that as a chairman of budget, we are facilitating them in terms of financing and capacity. That one, I think, and they're not very much complaining. They will be having a meeting with JLAC on Tuesday, and then on Friday we'll have a meeting with them. So I believe, and we still have time, Jeff. We still have time to conclude that. So I want to say, and I believe that 2022, the person who will be defeated, which of course, like, chances are very high that Kangata, by that time, Kangata will have jumped ship. I know Kangata. Kangata will jump ship when he will see clearly that the ship is sinking. You know, he will start sinking Lege himself.
No.
That's true, Kangata. You know, my friend. Kangata loves swimming downstream. Kangata does not swim upstream. You know, for me, I do swim upstream, but Kangata cannot. Kangata, you know, is my friend. You jump ship,
Jeff,
and come to my side.
You know, at times I wonder.
By the way, you can't swim, huh?
No. Yes, Jeff, I wonder, once you join ODM, what gets into you? Yeah, I don't know. I would want to talk to my colleagues who are joining ODM, like my colleague.
No, we are not joining ODM.
No,
I want to correct it.
we are still. No, please allow me, Jeff. Protect me.
But you're putting words in his mouth.
Kindly.
No, Jubilee has announced that they are joining ODM.
We have a
officially.
So
Tuju is the Secretary General of
you are not
Jubilee.
You are not in Jubilee.
Be proud of your presidential candidate.
UDA. So kindly,
please be proud of your presidential candidate. Be proud, like the way I am.
But my party is Jubilee.
No, you see, be
friend.
proud. Be proud. Yeah, be proud of Tialala. Be proud of Tibim. Be proud, yeah.
Let me tell you, Jeff, and I'm telling you, and you remember this.
Yes.
Allow me to finish.
Here
yeah.
No,
will
allow
jump
me to finish.
before 2022. This Kangata, when he'll see that the tides are changing, the tectonics are changing, he will jump ship.
You see?
You know, we'll replay this clip then. You know that. We'll replay this.
Jeff, if I can join a party which then makes me say that 2013 there was a problem, you have heard what he has said, that President Uhuru Kenyatta's first election was problematic. Imagine. He seems to be casting aspersion to the election
there was a
of
petition.
President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Petition.
He said so.
I said there was a petition.
But there was a petition. We know.
I can't believe it. He lost, Raila Odinga lost that petition. And therefore, legally, that election was proper. Imagine I'm here defending Uhuru Kenyatta against Railaism. I can't believe it. I'm the one here fighting for Uhuru Kenyatta's win in 2013 against Railaism, which is now into my friend Kanini Kega, a whole chairman of a budget. Please, Uhuru Kenyatta, kick out this guy. Give me that. Yeah, no, do that.
No.
Kick out this guy, give me the position, I'm fighting for you.
You have had. Kick out this guy, give him the position.
No,
very soon you'll be back. By the way, your seat is still very much alive.
No.
We can always create a position for you. And your vehicle, by the way, the GK.
Yeah. It's still
the
there.
GK is still at the parking. I'm telling you, your GK is still there. You know, I saw you that even the driver, you don't have a driver of the day. So,
you know, by the way, us as UDA, we're always praying for Kieleweke. We don't believe these are true guys who went to ODM. Something funny entered into. Imagine, they are now delegitimizing President Uhuru Kenyatta's first win. Exactly, that's what my colleague is saying. Delegitimizing the first win.
Gentlemen,
anyway,
we'll have to leave it at that. It's been an interesting conversation.
Yeah, but maybe as a parting shot, I want to say that despite what you are seeing at the mountain is calm, very calm. I actually stay at the foot of the mountain, and the route to the mountain is through my home, Narumoro there. And I am happy that the former Prime Minister has decided to seek the help of those people who know the mountain. Because scaling the mountain can be tricky, yeah? They are wild animals. You know, if you go alone, you get lost. That forest is dense. The weather changes in minutes. And he has sought the support of all of us. He has confirmed to us that he's not looking for followers, like it is happening in UDA. He is looking for partners, people who are going to partner with him and work together and walk together. And that is the reason we are still in Jubilee. Unlike what he thinks, that the followers would go to his party. We are not followers. We are partners. And I believe that at the opportune time, the people of the mountain, once we give them an opportunity to listen to each and every presidential candidate, they will be able to make an informed decision. At some point, they had said that Mount Kenya is locked for their presidential candidate. I am happy that we have now opened the mountain to each and every person to come and sell their agenda for us at the mountain. We will listen to them, and of course, we will make that decision at the opportune time. At the moment, we are still consulting, because the people down there are the people who are going to make that decision after we give them an opportunity to listen to all the other candidates. No, unlike Kangata, and I know, of course, before the end of his term, he'll say that he has listened to the ground. You know, he actually listens to the ground. So he'll say that he has listened to the ground, and the ground is saying that we are scaling the mountain with Baba. Don't be shocked.
Yes,
So you had a parting shot.
yes,
You have 2 minutes. Parting shot about the mountain.
Yeah, you know, the mountain is a very slippery place.
Absolutely.
It has a lot of wild animals. Yeah, it's very forested. Yeah, when you go to that place, it's too cold. Yeah, it needs a person who is agile, a little bit young to scale that mountain. It also takes a little bit of time. You cannot say you are going to scale within the next 10 months, which are remaining until the last date for this race. I would imagine you need a little bit of time to be able to go through Nanyuki, go through Narumoro, go through. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Yeah,
a week, actually.
About nine years or so. Yeah, and again, of course, I think it's also inhuman to subject a person who should be resting, yeah, to such a journey. Yeah, for me, if you love old people, you should be resting them, praying for them. Yeah, seeking their guidance and blessings. I think that is the real African culture. You don't subject to your dad such a torturous journey through the Mount Kenya region. Surely, you need to respect the older people, as we respect
How
older
old is
people.
the US
you
president?
Respect, yeah. You see, yeah, exactly.
Going to 80.
Biden
No, Biden,
did not climb a mountain. He did not climb a mountain. Yeah, he didn't. I wish.
Can you get him reggae?
No. If Biden was in Kenya, I'll tell him, don't dare. Don't dare. Yeah,
Can we get him some reggae?
I'll tell him, don't dare.
And
Don't dare.
Trump wants to try again. He may try
I tell
again.
him, don't dare, don't dare. It's a mountain. The mountain is a young blood. Yeah? A person from a community that runs. Yeah, that has that blood of running the marathon. Yeah, it's no joke. The mountain. So.
All right, gentlemen. The mountain is a rough place. That's what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
And it's unpredictable. The weather
changes in seconds.
Great conversation, gentlemen.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, Senator.
No, remember, I'm from Murang'a. Murang'a is the land of the people who... there was a guy who used to be called Mogoa Kefiru from Murang'a. We see far.
Oh,
and when we look far, we see Arab Ruto.
We are the land of generous. We are the land of generous, Nyeri. And we are the foot of Mount Kenya, so we know how the mountain behaves.
The
He
chair.
is very far from the
All right.
mountain.
The chair.
Thank you.
Chairman, Budget and Appropriations Committee, also Kenny MP. Kanini Kega, thanks so much for your time. Good
Thank
to
you
see
too.
you. First
Thank
time
you
on
too,
the
Jeff.
bench.
I'm sorry.
Well done.
First time.
Murang'a Senator, Irungo Kangata. Asante sana. Good luck, gentlemen. Let's have this. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep talking. You know, I always keep saying, let's keep talking. The moment we stop talking is the moment we start fighting. And you don't want to go down that slippery slope. You just don't. Thanks so much for being a part of Jeff Kanenge Live every Wednesday. It's all about those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. Good night. Good luck. God bless you all. Asante, gentlemen. Well done.